Recycling is automatically
Okay, wonderful.
30 days, but recycling.
You call to order now.
I'm calling to order our standing policy committee meeting at 5:05. And we're going to turn the roll call over to our policy manager, Aaron Burgess.
Imani Robinson,
Present.
Ada Rodriguez,
Here.
Brett Case,
Here.
Armando Flores, spoke to me, said he's arriving, not here yet. Lupe, haven't spoke to her. Steven Chatsky,
Here.
Alec Byer, present. And that's everyone.
Okay, wonderful. So we are going to non-agenda public comment. Is there anyone? Okay, wonderful.
So Armando coming in.
Do you have the script?
Put it up the script.
I have to. I'm not finding it. Why am I not finding it?
On the front page.
Is it? Thank you. Okay, we do not have in-person public comment, so I will read for online.
If there's anybody that's online that wishes to speak, please raise your hand.
Wait a minute. Online.
This is no public comment. I'm seeing no hands raised. We have no public comment on non-agenda.
I wanted to read it, but I couldn't find it. Sorry. Okay. Did anyone or everyone, pardon me, did everyone get a chance to look at our minutes?
Yeah, the only thing I noticed is, I am not the first vice chair of the committee.
Uh-oh.
That's all.
Give me more look.
Oh. Yeah, we didn't discuss that. Interesting.
I move to accept the minute, this, in second.
Okay. Oh, wonderful.
No, I don't know.
So our commissioner is arriving for the record. Armando at 5:08. So Armando Flores has arrived. Thank you. And we are now going to get approval of the minutes. All in favor of approving the minutes? Aye. All right. Everyone said aye. So new business, committee members and seats available for the committee. So I'm going to somewhat hold off, but we want to make sure that all committees, just speaking on policy, all committees that have open seats, we want to be able to see that for the new commissioners, and even just to see if people want to do other seats or, sit on other commissions. So I'll kind of wait on that, but I've added this because I wanted to open it up to new commissioners because I believe we still have some seats available. And, but I think we'll just, I'm waiting for the information to see, and then we can do it at a later time. And what we're all waiting for is B, new business, is our policy retreat run of show. Informational item only. And I turn it over to to Airbender.
So I just have some updates on what we've been working on as staff, trying to nail down the consultants. So everything's good to go as far as Sharon Fairley. We have her quote, and she's going through the system as going through the regular process. And we have ACLU, they're volunteering, so they had to create a new form for them. And so I think everything's on track. They're going to send that to them. It's not complete yet, but we're expecting that there will be no troubles there. We did have a little bit of concern about the HCI, which is Human Communication Institute consultant Pamela Perkins. Spoke to Imani about this already, but her quote, two things about her quote from other staff, a little bit disconcerting and very expensive. And so I was telling Imani that a couple of things we can do. Either I can reach back out to her and ask her to shave off some of the costs. Then again, her quote's kind of all over the place, so that did give us some pause a little bit with her, with what we're expecting her work product to be, just to be frank about that. And at the number that she gave us, it would require us to get additional quotes anyway. And so Jaime gave me a suggestion on a consultant, and I thought because it's community engagement, I'd work with Yasmin. She gave me a couple of suggestions as well. I haven't reached out to anybody yet. But you can pass this around to see kind of what her quote looked like. Well, first, let me show it. Let me send this around. This is Sharon's quote. Pass that around.
When we were discussing the number of speakers, and we never really established exactly how many we wanted, but I think I would advocate just for the two you have, just so we don't have people burnt out in the number of speakers, but
We agreed to do 3 or 4.
yeah.
So we have with ACU that count, technically that's 2. I think 4 would be good, but I think the larger point is we need to have a larger discussion on like what exactly we want the retreat to do. And that'll give us some clarity, because from what I was seeing from Pamela Perkins, the suggested presentation she was going to do, it didn't really match the ethos of what we wanted to do with the policy retreat. What I was thinking with the policy retreat was that we're going to have some download on SDPD policy, our policy priorities, and then get buy-in from you all as commissioners, and then kind of have somebody lead a discussion on how we wanted to approach the work. Not so much as like the community engagement stuff that Emma had, and it was just, her presentation was a little bit confusing. So I want to leave that conversation up to you guys. But the point that I'm making about the quotes is that Sharon's quote is very succinct, easy to follow. The other one is not, and that's why we're kind of we have a little bit of pause with that. So I'm gonna get you guys' thoughts on that.
My thoughts are is the retreat is supposed to get to all get to know each other better.
That
So less time we spend sitting listening to somebody else, and more time we spend interacting. It's really critical, I think, that we have the staff tell us what they do and how we're to work with them, because that's never been really done.
Mm-hmm.
So the staff explain what each of them, explain what their functions, how they're best, how they can best be used.
Yeah.
And then presentation, and then people get to know each other.
Yeah, so if I can offer what I was thinking was that part's important. I do think that'll be helpful for communication. The way that we broke it up when Paul was here was that we're going to do the first half of the retreat this January was going to be more of the download on who each other were. We brought NCRC in to give us some tools. And this one was supposed to be a little bit more academic in nature, because we're approaching policy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to lean away, as far away from the community engagement stuff as possible, as far away from the norming, storming, forming, kind of framework as possible and get into the nitty gritty of the policy.
Yeah, initially it was gonna be one all-day retreat, and it was gonna be, part of it was gonna be the interpersonal stuff. And then the second part was gonna be strategic planning. And then when everything floated at the end of the year, I gave the commission several options. One was to postpone everything. And the option they ended up choosing was to do a retreat in January, I think it was, that would focus on the
Team building.
team building, relationship building and so forth, which is what we did. And we would have something later that would be more focused on strategic planning and with an emphasis on policy and prioritizing policy. And so this was intended to be the second part of that. I think it's, having said that, I think since we have some new commissioners, we ought to include a component to get to know each other, because we have several new commissioners.
Mhm.
And so I don't know what the run of show is yet, but I would maybe put that at the beginning.
Yep.
And I think we also want to get a sense of commissioners' feeling regarding, all the different issues, because we have like 12 policy issues.
Mhm.
And we want to prioritize them and decide how we're going to do our community forums, et cetera. We wanted to get a sense of the commissioners to see what their
Yes.
priorities were and so forth.
Yep.
And so I think having Sharon in the ACLU talk about some of those policy issues and kind of give a background and briefing and so forth would be good. I'm not quite, well, maybe you can explain what was the scope of work that we asked for from the Human Commission Institute?
The point for that was the part that you're talking about, but for us to get out of forming and get into performing and to communicate, to find better, successful, effective ways to communicate as commissioners, to communicate outside with officers or with staff. Because me personally, I feel that we're not all on the same page to get the work done on how to communicate with, I know that's a policy issue, but at the same time, it's also just how to communicate effectively. So that was what that was for, but incorporating in our work and the commission.
So,
Go ahead.
so I took that, what Ms. Robinson advocated for, and I wrote a scope that I actually sent to, the potential consultant. The objective was to provide strategies for meaningful, measurable, and sustainable community engagement in public safety policy work. And then there are 4 key deliverables: identify methods to reach underrepresented communities, framework for community listening sessions that translate feedback into actionable policy recommendations, review of successful models for integrating public participation into law enforcement oversight. And the final bullet point was guidance on measuring impact and reporting progress back to the public. 60-minute presentation facilitated group discussion.
And
Well,
I don't-
that sounds good, but I didn't see that in that.
I think the way the quotes are written looks like it was misunderstood, because they're a little outrageous. Are they local?
By they, are you referring to both quotes or just the
Both.
HCI? Sharon Farley is a University of Chicago professor. That's where she works. I think she's from Michigan.
Okay.
She's not local. And she's about, from the quote, she's exactly around half the price of the other one.
Right.
We as staff liked this quote. Our senior budget analyst did not.
I don't like it.
this quote looked like it was more than just the one person. It looked like there was
A
staff.
whole curriculum planning, it says venue.
And it's 1 hour, and it's just 1 hour, so. Yeah.
Have we looked into, the community? We have so much resources and professionals out here, which I think will benefit for us to build those relationships. And it would be much cheaper. We wouldn't have to worry about hotels and flights. We can do research and find a few. I think we still have.
We have a little bit of time.
We don't have very much time.
Little time.
As- In terms of finding someone to replace Sharon, I don't think we have enough time to do that. Personally.
Even if we could find something in 3 days.
If you can find something in 3 days and they're gonna
Oh, snap.
volunteer, then perhaps,
To replace Sharon or replace,
that's up to you guys. My professional recommendation is not to replace Sharon or the
Yeah.
ACLU.
you know, I like those.
Yeah. That
I
wasn't,
mean, a thought that comes to my mind is Genevieve Jones,
I
right?
did speak to Genevieve and she did express some interest in it. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
I mean, that's the line of work that she does. And she's local, she understands the local issues, she understands community engagement.
we didn't cross-reference calendars, but she said that she'd be open to a
In the
conversation about it.
meantime, I think I'm gonna look into unknown to us, people with that background. We have the different SD Alliance, they have professionals, where Kate, and Betty, what the organization she's in, so many
And
professionals.
actually, Alliance San Diego is a good, but I'm thinking of Genevieve, I forget the name of the organization.
Mogo.
Yeah, Mogo, but I forget what it stands for, but it focuses specifically on public safety issues. And that's kind of her
Yeah.
area of expertise,
Mogo.
community relation, and maybe somebody else with that organization other than her that could do it. She mentioned, I think she's about the executive director, but there may be a board member or whatever who could do it.
Absolutely.
We're actually doing, Yasmin coordinated a listening session with Mogo, which would be me, Yasmin and the group. We're gonna speak about CPP, but.
I have an idea, I guess, on who may be aligned with our goals in terms of like doing, this work with us. Miramar College just announced that they're doing a 4-year public safety degree program. Public safety management, 4-year program, they're right here. I'm guessing the director of that is gonna wanna promote what they're doing and, getting students in. But what they're doing is directly in line with what we're doing, what we're trying to, navigate. And so that might be a conversation worth having.
I will say this, what you guys are talking about is not what, it's not what I have in mind. It's not touching what I'm speaking on. I'm speaking on communication. I have another person in mind. I'm gonna reach out to them as well. He does conflict resolution. His name is Alexis, but like I said, I haven't even spoke to him, so I don't whatever. But all of your input is great. I know that Mr. Burgess is definitely going to check everybody out. So I'm throwing one in the ring. You have a person, you have a group. And I understand what you're saying. And I love that because I had a full discussion about that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear about that. I've even told.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I raised my hand, I was gonna say something.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was trying to, so communication wise, right? Like diving into that topic in particular, feels like a topic for the main retreat with the entire commission that would happen typically earlier in the year. Policy wise, when we're talking about developing and understanding what policy is, how to go about hitting these main topics, it doesn't sound like what we're trying to do is in line with what a policy retreat is specifically. And so I feel like there's a really big difference, and we have to really look at how we want to go about these retreats. But I do feel that the communication one would do better when it's the entire commission aligning on the goals of how we're going to go about the communication with staff and with the PD as a whole.
I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
but if we're gonna outline this work and not properly know how to communicate it, then we've really wasted our time. So that is my point, that it needs to be incorporated, because here we are, we were getting together for a strategic plan on our forums, but then we're not communicating properly. How is that gonna work? It's not. So we have the ACLU, which is great. We have Sharon, which is really going to be a brush up, we've already heard of most of the information. We'll be able to get into it and put what she says into, our goals. But if we just went ahead and then added other groups that I'm not excited about their communication. Because my thing is, we can talk about all these different organizations here in the city of San Diego, but where's the success? Where is it moving forward? So That's what I want to do. I want us to get our plan strategized and move it forward and not have any room to blame it on, well, that didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't work. It's us, and we have the power. But in order for that to happen, we are going to have to be on the same page. We're going to have to properly know how to communicate with each other. We're going to have to know how to properly communicate with staff. We're going to have to properly know how to communicate with community. We're going to have to properly know how to communicate with police officers and everyone else in order for everyone to have buy-in and for everyone, because we're naming all these wonderful groups, but we're still in the same city with the same unsuccess.
I hear
So
you.
I want success. So that's why I love the idea of looking for other people, not the same old names that we hear all the time, because I haven't seen the success from those same old
I think
names.
success in different regards. I'm looking at outcomes, like what are we?
Outcomes,
What are we
absolutely.
looking at in terms of how are we going to jumpstart our policy, research and development and strategy? And is that the specific outcome that we're looking to do, or are we going to do that in January? We'll come back to it. Like, what are we going to come out with? Right? And is it going to be a communication strategy, or is it going to be actually policy that we're going to have as the cornerstone to what we're going to do?
So there's two parts. So that's exactly what we're doing, is strategizing on what are the important policies that we're going to go look for.
Yeah.
Because then beyond, before our retreat, we have a whole conference to get information. And that's the goal for our next meeting, is what are we going to grab out of there so that we can put it together? Like, this is what we want, and then we'll be able to bring that. And so January, I want us to perform. So I want us we're forming now. I want us to strategize, but I want us to be effective. And so we can have a great strategy of what we're going to do, of what's the best policy, what works in other places. Thank you for this information. But if we're not together on the same page to move it forward, then we're going to be just like any other organization that has not had success.
I have a suggestion, but.
Go ahead, Doug.
Well, I mean, I like do agree with the scope of work that Aaron read to us. But I think that makes sense, and that's different than a broad thing of communication. And so having somebody who can talk about how we involve the community in making our decisions regarding policy and policy priorities. And I think what you came up with was perfect. I don't see that it's hard to make sense of that proposal, but it didn't seem to be what I would be looking for, exactly what that scope of work was. And I agree that blends as well.
Yes.
I think we can do all things. Like, if it's just an hour, we can bring her back for a communication strategy at a business meeting. But Jaime gave me a suggestion on somebody who's worked with, he worked with a nonprofit in San Diego on their campaign. So like we're doing these listening sessions. He knows how to approach that forum, so we can have him speak to that, and he can match the scope. I think, and I haven't talked to him yet, but his the work that he's done in the past. Jaime said this to me. This is his breakout facilitating.
So he's done listening sessions with the people.
Yeah, he has a whole curriculum.
He would talk to us how to go about doing that.
So we can maybe replace Pamela on this retreat, and then we can bring Pamela in at a business meeting, and she can give us some points on communication.
We'll see. We'll figure that out. Yes.
Thank you. I've had my hand up
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
for a while.
I apologize.
It's hard
I
to
have 30
decide where to see it.
Mhm,
Sure,
mhm.
I understand. I have 3 suggestions for people.
Yeah.
2 of them are local. One is Scott Dreyer. He is a local attorney. He's sued the city and is very familiar with city policies and how to win.
Mhm.
And he's very steeped with nonprofits. Scott Dreyer also with the disability rights community is very strong. Kate Yavendetti of the National Lawyers Guild, who was mentioned, she's local, she has an advantage of, she was one of the people responsible for getting the commission formed. And she is articulate and she knows our business because she attends a lot of our meetings. And not local, but a very smooth operator is Jefferson Fisher. He's an attorney. He's kind of an internet phenomenon, social media, on getting people to come together and what triggers people, how to talk to people so that you can get consensus, not disagreement. And he probably would cost a whole bundle. I don't know where he's
That's what we're
located.
looking for.
But on the other hand, I think he may be in Texas. He is so persuasive and insightful. He's kind of blessed with an intuition on human beings and, you know, what makes them tick and how to work with them. So he'll make suggestions such as put a pause in what you're saying. Slow down. Oh, you know, okay, it's a bunch of rhetorical tricks in a way, but on some level, they're operating in terms of how human beings really wish to operate, and you will get people's respect.
And Commissioner Chatsky has said exactly what I wanted to hear, is putting the humanity back into our work. That is exactly what I want to do. Not just get the work all nice and prepared and beautiful and perfect, but I want the humanity in it so that we can win. Thank you.
That is evidence of work from a suggested consultant from our senior budget analyst.
Is there a price on that?
Sorry, what did you say?
That's a proof of concept from a potential consultant from that staff has worked with in the past. Not proof of concept, but an example of his previous work.
That's some homework.
And this would be in 1 hour? Yeah, no, just feedback from everything I heard. I am 100% on board with the communication. A lot of people may think it's redundant. It's very important to be aligned strategically. We don't all think the same. We don't have to think the same. We're very diverse, and that's what we want. But we have to know how to properly communicate so that we don't extend time and, you know, just go in circles and circles and not get nothing moving forward. So I agree with that. I highly recommend to stick with local, even LA, San Francisco, because it builds relationships. And I highly recommend to go outside of people that we already kind of deal with, just to expand that community engagement. In California, we want people to know what we're doing, and that's how we're going to spread the word. So yeah, it's so many. I go to a lot of community events, and there's so many organizations out there, and I talk to them, and they're excited. They want to collaborate, so it's on us to reach out and extend that hand.
Back in July, you guys gave me 7 names. So I was just trying to, as quickly as possible.
Did I miss that meeting?
No, you were there. We all just gave names.
And then Jaime told me it's like a 2-month, we need at least a 2-month buffer. So I went with convenience to some extent. So that's why Sharon came back. But for next time, we can prioritize any names.
Going back to the run of the show, can you kind of break down like what's going to happen during the day? And we're going to start with introductions. Who's going to go first? You know, what's going to be not the specific speakers, but what's going to be the run of the show that happens during that day? And how long it takes.
So from the top of my head, and I can give you a better rundown of this, because I have it on slides, so I think I showed it in August, but kind of what Byron was saying about having staff speak about their roles, and I think it's also important for folks to share what's drawn them to the work so that we can kind of humanize each other. So a little bit of what we did in January, but including staff, just so we can kind of minimize this in-group, out-group with staff and commissioners and kind of get on the same page, then have clarity for the new commissioners. So we're gonna do that. Imani's gonna do the SAGOG PIN piece. We have an agenda item on Wednesday where she'll introduce that to the commission, giving people homework to listen to the actual podcast. And then we're gonna break that down, have a conversation about that. And then we're gonna go into, this is what I'm thinking, 'cause I need to get it squared away with ACLU. Have ACLU do some sort of an overview of civilian oversight and accountability. They want to talk about SB2, I'm sure, and then we have equip commissioners with strategies to strengthen civilian oversight, effectiveness, transparency, public trust. 90 minutes. Then go into anti-racism and discourtesy policy, kind of connecting that to our strategic plan, strengthen the commissioner's capacity to address, identify, address, and make policy recommendations on racially biased policing, discriminatory practices, officer discourtesy.
Yeah, hold on. You have a question?
Yeah, I saw ACLU at the Bank or So Community Group presentation that community engagement coordinator and I did. And they were like 15 minutes, and then they took questions from another 5 or 10. It's terrific. It's good. It's terrific. So
Who was,
I thought you, some Hispanic guy from North Central.
I know you're digging, I could be using me either,
But
not Brandon, right?
But it wasn't an hour. I heard you say 60 minutes. I think it's variable.
Can I just say
It's
that
terrific.
when we talk about an hour, that's interaction. That is not just, that includes activities, that includes input, that includes us creating a strategy. They're there to help us, to aid us in what we're doing. So it could simply be a 15-minute presentation. And then it's us figuring out how are we going to use this information to move us forward. So that's each person. We're not just sitting there.
I even want to get together with the consultants and have like a Zoom meeting,
Yeah, can you finish?
have a conversation.
You get through the whole.
Yeah, so then the next part was, we agreed to talk about use of force and de-escalation. That's obviously Sharon. And then based on what the chair recommended, the community engagement, trust building, communication piece, have somebody do that. So it's kind of 5 parts. It's the introduction, the communication, the introduction with staff and the commissioners. Oversight as a whole, anti-racism, discourtesy policy, use of force de-escalation policy, and then the trust building and communication component. Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
that's with the lunch break and a couple breaks in between.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions or concerns? And we are going to meet again in October so that we can get some other things squared away before the retreat.
Is there like a estimated time to have like a draft agenda?
Sure. I can probably create a draft agenda relatively soon. I think,
You've already done it. I mean,
yeah, we've got various versions of it. I think we just need to figure out what we're gonna do with that last piece. And
I mean, it could be a working draft,
okay,
but it kind of, if
Like an
we
email,
had,
like
he would have never had the questions.
yeah,
Well, you did go over at the last meeting, but I wanted to refresh your,
Right.
and also having, timeframes and how the speakers fit into that.
yeah, just put everything together and send an email.
Because our next meeting is October 23rd, but that's only a week before the retreat, and so that's kind of late.
And we will not be there.
here we are. Yeah, we will.
We'll be
We figured it
in
out.
Indianapolis.
Oh, shoot.
It's during April.
No, hold on. I think we're,
I think it's the 22nd.
Yeah.
We leave that weekend. That's when you-
no, we're good. It's just before.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I'll see you in October.
It's October 30th.
No.
No.
One before that.
Go back one more week.
Well, the 23rd is outreach.
22nd.
Oh, 22nd.
Is that a Thursday?
It's a Wednesday.
Oh, then it is the 23rd then.
The 23rd is.
It's the 4th. Yeah, it's supposed to be 4th.
And outreach is scheduled.
What time?
Outreach is 6:30 PM.
Okay, because we have a standing,
6:30 PM?
we have a standing meeting every fourth Thursday.
Ours is 5 to 6. That's a lot of meetings, so.
Well, you'll survive it. We were out here yesterday and we survived. And it will be a great, wonderful meeting.
I'll work it out. I'll be here regardless.
Oh, shit. Got a call. Did you get anything? I got a call, a text from Lupe.
No.
She's at the door. Hi, my dear. I'm sorry.
Did we need pause? We have to, right?
Should I pause it? I don't know if I can pause.
No, I mean, we could remain here, I guess. No?
We just announced this.
What was the next item?
We can all freeze up the,
The next.
Well, we need to decide if we're gonna meet.
Possible future. Right.
Well, we were talking if we were to meet, I think what's the, I mean, it's a week before. We can't finalize the agenda a week before. We can't finalize anything really a week before. It should be something that's finalized a month before.
I have to apologize.
Ideally.
Our commissioner texted me to let her in the door. She didn't have her badge, just like how I was messed up.
We were leaderless. Next time.
I apologize.
Ask one of
I'm
us.
sorry. You guys are all leaders. You're all leaders. You're all leaders. I apologize. Okay, where are we?
but anyway, our door here,
Right, I saw it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I keep getting lost. Okay,
Which of course, also we're discussing when the agenda should be out.
So the last meeting that we're gonna have, we can't really finalize anything at that point. We can't, there's nothing we should be, there's no loose ends that should be there at that point. Everything should be resolved about a month before.
okay, so here's the question. What needs to be resolved?
Exactly.
So I'm here, I'm open, because I feel that we have a run of show. We know exactly what we're gonna do. Nothing's changed. The only thing that has happened is that we haven't found our final speaker that includes communication and our standards of,
Two speakers.
no.
Okay, that's what I'm confused
It
on.
just, we have Sharon, we have ACLU. And ACLU, you said it's kind of like two speakers. So that's
We
three.
just need.
We just need the one. That's where we are.
I'm sending you something.
Exactly. That's all we're working on. And
Got it.
that's all we're trying to figure out.
I guess my question is,
Yes.
what is it that we would work on then in that next meeting? If everything's gonna be finalized today.
Yes. So it's not even about the retreat. I'm speaking on the agenda that's not here yet, but it's, we're going on the conference, the NACO conference. So my goal is for you guys to help, us figure out what we want to work on, but I'm discussing something that I'm not supposed to be discussing right now. But,
Exactly, we need communication training.
thank you. Thank you very much. I'm asking for what I need too. You know, I'm not telling you guys we need it. I'm saying we need it. So, yeah, so I really have thought all this out. So the retreat is, our only hiccup is our
Oh.
final, speaker. Because, you know, if there was no hiccup, we would already be done. But we, of course, wanted to hear from you, get more input and understand the importance of why we need that last speaker to sum it all up and how we're gonna execute, so.
Can I propose that we talk about, so Erin wrote up an AI policy, idea that I thought would be worth talking about, and if we sent it like 2 weeks ago, right? So
It's on the,
it's in the agenda for this time, right? So like, this one is gonna be on AI, next one should be on another policy topic. We still keep that going, and now wait till the retreat. So that's it.
But that's it, and that's exactly what I want us to do, is for us to decide on how this is going to flow and what is the subject matter that we're gonna do. So that's exactly it. So we're pretty much, we have figured out run a show. We have one piece left. And Aaron, you can go ahead and talk
Got
with
permission
AI.
to reach out to other folks.
Yeah, we'll have a discussion. It's, yeah, we still need to fill it. We still need to figure that out.
I will do
So,
that. With, we're moving on to.
I
Yes.
know I sent you an email, it was meant for Ed.
Oh, really?
I
That happens.
didn't
Was it
sometimes.
about me? Oh, no.
So at the regional NACO retreat that I went to last month, or this month, in San Francisco, a retired chief of police works for the Center for Policing, and Center on Policing, so it's like cop.ai.org. And they have a template policy to make recommendations to law enforcement agencies. So we have a draft here. This will be a really easy policy recommendation. I did bring this up in our staff meeting this week, and the investigators let me know that there's a San Diego City AI policy. So I have to make sure that there's no overlap or redundancy. But I wanted to get y'all's permission that if this policy makes sense, I could bring it to the general body and have a vote and then make formal recommendation to the police department. And this is important because if folks, we can assume that folks are using generative AI because it's the most explosive technology on the planet at this point in time. People use it for personal use. If officers are using this to make reports and they put sensitive data in it, somebody can access that data from across the country or another country. And so it puts people's data at risk. And so there needs to be some regulation on the use of these technologies, which is why we have Copilot, right? It's like a safer technology because it only uses information that you put into it. It doesn't grab information from the World Wide Web. And so I thought it'd be a quick preventative measure.
I'm kind of surprised that there's already not like some sort of Department of Justice or California state law that requires the department to have such policy, because like you said, it's been exploding, but it hasn't been in the last year. It's been like 2-3 years. And, you know, other companies, private companies, they already have policies like that.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't us as a, city body? So that,
In our city,
have you done the research to see if there's a possible requirement?
so by me opening this up to staff, they let me know. So I guess there's a piece of research I didn't do. The city of San Diego has AI policy, so I need to look at that. Historically, government moves slower than private. So like this is a 2-year-old technology.
Right.
Private companies are just quicker, more adaptive.
The reason I ask is because we have to remember that the department, SCPD, has to follow City of San Diego policy. So if there is a City of San Diego policy, it's much easier for us to say you are not in compliance, rather than I recommend that you do this.
Yes, strong argument for sure.
Yeah.
But this is police agency specific. And so as long as it doesn't conflict with the City of San Diego policy, it could be an addendum to it that applies to the police department.
No, the police department should have their own, because the officers
what I'm
are
saying.
not gonna look into.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is it, and that's what this is. And do we know whether or not the department has anything on its own?
It does not.
So do you want us to vote as
It
a
is.
policy committee if we send it to the commission?
no, we're not ready because we've only, so this is your recommendation.
What I'm asking for is
It's
permission
time.
to look into the cities, and if these conditions are met, then bring it to the larger body. If it doesn't conflict.
Got it, okay, still doing research.
Yes, yes.
But also have to look at the legal implications, because we had a presentation about drones and legal implications for the police system drones. This new technology is very similar, and it's relative to the fact there's now legal scrutiny on it. So that needs to be combined with research as well.
And when they presented on it, they did talk about drones and stuff as well. So,
Can I recommend, I remember the speaker, Art Costa Neros.
is that the speaker we had?
Yeah,
That's,
about the
Bart Scott,
drone.
yeah.
He seems very knowledgeable on Privacy Act and all of that. So
Yeah.
that could be a good resource.
I'll reach
He
out to him.
definitely did mention he's open
Yep.
anytime.
Okay.
And those are kind of the things we need to take advantage of.
Did you happen to see that Chula Vista just, they just sent a contract for Axon providing AI
Yeah.
to the department?
Mhm.
And so that's something that is already out there with Axon, which is something that's a company SDPD are also interested in.
Tycom was at the conference, yeah.
Yeah, and so they're, okay, but there is no policy that they're referencing Chula Vista that is also applicable here, right?
I would have to look at that.
You're saying that who signed the contract with Axon?
Chula Vista did.
Okay.
Yeah, for those.
Sorry.
Public Axon is this huge corporation that develops all this technology for body worn cameras and other stuff. And one of the things they've started doing lately is encouraging police departments to use AI to create police reports, which is really verboten under the current legal standards because only human beings can testify about certain things. You just can't testify. So also Axon is publicly traded, it's doing very well.
Yeah. Yeah, which is why it's important to have some constraints on it. Not have folks using ChatGPT and personal accounts. Yeah. So,
Or the use of in law enforcement is really needs to have a head street.
It might be wise to look into the technology that Axon has developed and see if that could help instruct your recommended model policy.
But they also were asked if they would disclose the names of the police departments that are already using their services, and they're not doing that. So it could be that SDPD is already using AI, and we don't know.
I think our body worn cameras are.
That's something.
For Axon, yeah.
And so they would,
We used to have the car scanners. We don't have those anymore.
yeah. And so
And their drones are not. And I think I looked at
Yeah.
their drones.
my assumption is that Axon has a set of software that's already created, and that would already incorporate AI elements into it. So they are using AI already. And that's how, just an assumption I can make, because they're using Axon, and that they're using it for how long?
That's a little different because they're contracted with Axon, so Axon would be the one that has to have that policy because it's their software.
I understand your point, but I'm just saying, like, AI is already something they're using actively. And so this is just got a contract with Axon for the first time, probably. And so that's why they had to announce that, but the contract as stands right now for SDPD, they've already incorporated AI into it, I'm sure. Is what I'm saying. We don't know because they haven't disclosed it, and they haven't asked.
Ask them.
Yeah, we can ask them. I'm just saying we haven't asked them, and they're not gonna tell us until we ask. So,
So anyway, we're not done on this subject. You have much more research to do. So we're giving you permission to do that, right?
Hey, you're the boss of this meeting.
Yeah, well, there's no information. I mean, this is just information, so we're not ready
I'm
to.
100% on board. I mean, the fact that we're discussing it so much shows that it's
It's-
needed.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's
So
pretty much-
if I find that there's a there, I will bring it to the general body. If not, I'll just keep you guys updated on my research and just let me know. There's really no protocol for how we make policy recommendations yet.
I would rather,
To possibly referring to encrypted communications as well,
Okay.
because even though it's AI, that's communication.
I would, before you give it to the body, I would prefer that it comes back here just for discussion because we don't have room in a business meeting. So I want you to go and do the research and then bring it back to us so we can have further discussion and then bring it to the body.
Well, and that should be for all policy recommendations. That's why the committee exists, is to
Mhm.
look at policy recommendations and make recommendations to the.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
yeah. I would like to support with your research. If I want to support the direct agreement ad hoc committee, that would allow for us to meet and talk about this specifically, or like, how does that?
No one is getting on that committee with you. You can work with our policy manager on your own.
If it's more than anyone else wants to work on it, do we have to?
It's about to
bring
get
that up?
real
That's what I'm asking. So no one else wants to do it? Okay.
I don't have expertise in the area, but I'm glad to sit in and listen and learn.
And that's what I'm asking, like, if we have more than just mayor, and do we create a subcommittee?
No, I see. So is there a need for something if there's three?
You guys aren't informed yet.
commissions?
Yes, so it would be fine.
If it was three of us, is that going too far?
Yes,
Okay,
or get in there,
but not there.
not there.
Okay,
Okay.
who's four?
Isn't it? Yeah.
Ah. So are we creating an ad hoc for this?
No, I'm saying we're safe because if we're not up to four.
Oh, I thought you were adding another four. Okay, all right.
Well, technically, it's just two right now, so we're good.
And three. I'd like to be in
Oh,
on the
okay.
information,
I'm
please.
just kidding. Sounds good.
So we're good with three without creating, it's just information. That's it. And then we'll bring it back to policy.
And then what do you want me to bring back as far as the policy retreat to the next meeting?
Our person.
Okay.
Our organization, our person for
Run a show.
run a show with our four presenters.
We want to run through the agenda for that entire retreat, like the finalized one, and
Yeah.
is that what you're saying?
Quickly, because we already, you've seen it.
Oh, yeah,
You've seen
so
it.
much.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
So we will quickly go through it.
Cool.
So we can get that final person that we have, whoever that is. I'm really excited to find out who that is. And then we'll come back with AI where we are. And if we have a full report that's ready to go to our full business meeting, then we'll get it in advance. But if you're just more like informational, just sharing, and you're not ready yet, then you can just bring it, and then we'll just, we get the agenda 3 days. But if you feel that you're ready, then we want to get it as soon as you feel it's ready so that we have time to look at it before we get here within those 3 days. So is that making sense? And then on our next agenda is basically speaking about the retreat, because it's going to be boom, we're out of here, and then we hit the ground, and then we have our retreat. So it's a lot,
Yeah.
but we can do it, and I'm excited.
I would suggest that our November meeting, are we gonna have a November meeting?
Oh, well, I want to hear your suggestion first before we
Do a
discuss that.
debriefing and follow up from the retreat. And so,
Well,
It's the holidays.
yeah, so technically,
or at our next meeting, whatever it's going to be, I'm not sure whether we're gonna meet in November.
this is what I
I'm
feel.
flattered. He just want to see us.
I feel that what we bring back is for all of us. I think it should be at a business meeting to debrief what we brought. And I am having a standing policy committee that meets on every fourth Thursday of the month. And November and December, our fourth Thursday falls on holidays. So I will not see you as a committee until January. Yes.
Just wanted to, what's that word? Piggyback off of Doug. I like his idea. It is for the entire commission to discuss, but us as kind of, mainly the ones who talked about it and planned it, to come together and say, what went right, what went left, what can we do better for next time? I think that's important too. It doesn't have to be like, on the fourth Thursday, you have the leeway to make it any day.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it any day, but if we can make it not I don't care, it obviously has to be published, obviously, but it is a holiday, and allow it just to be a reflection and not a full, well, it's going to be agendized, but I'm against it because I'm not going to be focused like that. Like, my goal is to get all that information, get the retreat, and in January, go. But I get what you're saying about debriefing.
Not just debriefing, but working in our next action steps. What are we going to do as a result of the retreat?
Exactly. I have a concern. that, it's been almost a year since we had our meeting with the public, and they, expressed their,
Mhm,
what they were feeling about
Mhm.
pretext stops
mhm,
and the fourth waiver and everything that we were
Mhm.
discussing. A year and no action, right? A year and no recommendations, a year and, I would personally love to, start working on that pretext stop research and working on the fourth waiver research, and then getting a group together and having that going, because if we're not gonna be able to touch this until January, then that's upsetting to the community and me.
So two things. We're not coming together as a retreat to get to know each other. We are getting together
Yeah.
to put together a strategy. We are, my goal, which I
Yeah.
keep going back to saying we're not discussing that yet, but my goal in October is for us to decide on what to bring back from NACOL, where they already have the research. They're already doing best practices. And so that is exactly what we're to do in October, is to put what's important, what that is, because in January, I want to plan for our first forum, not strategizing what we've been doing already. We've already picked our 12 important,
Yeah.
We've already done this, so we don't need to be redundant. So we're putting the strategy together during the retreat. That
Yeah.
is the goal of the retreat.
Yeah.
So the goal of the conference is for you to tell me and whoever else is going what information we're going to grab so we can put it together. So to do that during January or November, or
Yeah.
I mean, we could do it in November, but it's coming right up against a holiday.
I'm not talking from a place of I am frustrated for myself. I'm frustrated for the community. They expressed, their feelings about this.
I hear you.
But if we're going to do another forum in January, then are we going to wait a year from January to do another set of recommendations? No. We should.
No.
Exactly.
That's what the retreat's for.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure that we're understanding that this is going to be something we should communicate to the community, saying we haven't done this, and we know we haven't done this, and we need to work on something, and this is when we're going to start. All right, because that lack of communication, I think, would cause frustration.
Okay.
Yeah, the pretext issue is something that's really important to me, and I've been working on it since day one. We were temporarily on a committee working on it, and I've been going to trainings at the Law Enforcement Academy to learn about it. So what I would suggest is that we consider creating an ad hoc committee, myself and Commissioner Flores, and whoever else wants to participate, as a subcommittee of the policy committee on pretext stops, because I've been working on it.
Yeah, I've been working on it as well.
Okay, so
We're not independent. We
Okay.
can coordinate our efforts.
Okay.
We're on a committee, we can coordinate our.
Okay, so let's do two things. Let's do two things. So, because we're not having two agendized meetings in November and December, because which is the point. So during that time, you have your time to get the work done and present to us, because we can have pretext stops being our first forum, and you come back and bring the research in January to that meeting. And then that is when we set when we're going to have the forum, because that's what my January was for.
That sounds great. That's kind of, I want to make sure that.
Okay.
That was the original plan.
That was nothing's new. Exactly. This is exactly what we wanted to do from
Cool.
jump.
I just want to make sure that we're communicating that. And that's what
Absolutely.
I now understand. Are we creating an ad hoc committee starting today that we can?
You
do
don't
that?
need an ad hoc committee. If it's just you two.
You're not going to join us?
We are not joining
I
you.
can't, because that would be community
Oh,
outreach.
You're right.
forum.
You're right. Okay.
But really
Yeah.
quick, I just want to say I absolutely see both sides, as always. But I want to emphasize,
Yeah.
I 100% agree, we must give an update to the community, but that update is not as disappointing as you think. We have been doing the work.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we just haven't delivered, and the work that we're doing is behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing a lot of work. We put in a lot of work. You're doing amazing work. We are all are. The discussions,
Yeah.
all of it. However, I see your side, the strategy.
Yeah.
This retreat is a strategy.
That is the strategy. Thank
Which is
you.
kind of so that when we get in the table
Yeah.
to talk about this pretext recommendations, we know how to effectively communicate. We know how to effectively resolve conflict.
Yeah.
We get it done and we move on to the next policy.
Almost like creating a template.
We already, cause I was with you, but then you mentioned something, we already have a plan.
We
We
do.
already have the chosen
years.
policy.
Yes, yes.
So
We've done it day one.
We're on,
Day one. We're on
Okay.
point. We are on,
Okay.
we're on it.
we're just frustrated, I guess.
Yes.
I agree that, I guess I third the idea that we need to begin doing some action steps on the pretext policy. But I think we also agreed that we were going to develop an anti-racism policy. And so I guess my question is, when are we going to see that?
Wait, now we getting out of hand because we can only do so much.
But that's
Well, it's
why,
like-
it's so.
Okay, but
he's
they
talking about
made
something
a
I
decision.
mentioned that.
Mhm.
So I think after like doing research on the anti-racism stuff, that there may not be, well, it's gonna be simpler than, it's not gonna be as simple. So, I mean, it could be the pretext, it could be the, discourtesy, whatever. We just have to decide what that is. Maybe we just do the hearing first. I don't know. That's up to you guys.
So when we decided that, the world was a different place. To stay in that area, honestly, we don't know how we're gonna do it. Because what we set forth is not going to be the effect of what we wanted it in
Mhm.
today's climate of change from where we decided and to where everything has been dismantled. So to just bring up something that's already been dismantled, will that be effective? So we don't know what that's gonna look like, but it is.
Still using this.
It's not what we thought. We did not think we were going to have the stage that we have now. So we don't know what that looks like. And it can't look like what we thought it was going to look like because we're not in that same space. That's
But-
just my opinion.
There's already kind of language for anti-racism. I do agree it should be updated. But if just a personal opinion, I would like to address the ones that would have the most impact. And that one is of low impact because it's just emphasizing what's already existing. And it's just words versus, for example, pretext stops, pursuits, anything. It's actual change that we're looking for.
Exactly. And so within that is the anti-racism. So
Exactly.
So we don't know what it looks like. Like you said, we were presenting something that at that point is words. The world is not the same place to pledge on that because it's not set up the way it was set up before when we decided that. And so we have to move forward with the work, not the words.
Yes.
And put those words into action instead of just on words. I think we have lived through the words. And so now we have to make the words effective. And so that's what we're putting together for the forum. So what does that look like as far as anti-racism? It's anti all of that madness. It is pro-humanity, pro-community, and that is the solution that we're looking for between you two to bring it together so that we can enjoy our holidays. Now, I will participate and if we were going to do any type of reflection, I do not want it to be this hardcore meeting. I'd rather it be a holiday reflection of some sort. And we could talk, we can bring our papers and look at our, what we got back from, the conference, but I want some eggnog. I don't want to hardcore
I'll make
meeting.
myself available to each of you that wants to continue to work throughout the time. But just keep in mind, it can only be on a one-on-one basis because it's community outreach. We might be able to, but I'm not sure.
I think we've decided our first forum is going to be pretext stops. We know that. So when we come together in January, we're going to take your information and then set that up for that forum, for the community forum, so that we can get it. We can't just say January 30th, we're going to do it, but we can say very soon after it to hit that first quarter of the year to say that we really are doing what we said that we set out to do. Yes.
So we're planning on having a forum, I'm guessing the end of January.
I said no, that's not what I said. I said, I'm not saying that January, we're going to do it January and be ready at
Okay,
that
just
time.
second, we need.
No, we're not ready. Yeah, I said first quarter,
Yeah,
first quarter. So
yeah.
it'll be first quarter. But
What do we mean by forum? I'm sorry.
the community forum that we're talking about, to
Like,
bring the whole community together, and it's gonna be on pretext ops.
So the idea is that we're not necessarily bringing recommendations, we're gonna have a whole listening session, get all the information together, and
Within
then
the
decide. if
first
we-
quarter,
In the first quarter,
Each quarter.
January, February,
Or March.
March,
March 31st.
before April. And
You might want to coordinate with the community outreach.
I think that's a great idea, but we're not ready yet.
No, but.
But
when it happens,
exactly, and that's what that time is for.
That committee's also planning, I mean, by the bylaws, we're supposed to have like a community engagement. And I want to make sure that if we have, for example, it's kind of hard. Because I was thinking to get double the information. But we do want one dedicated for pretext staff, but we can also make the room for the community outreach one for grievances. Kind of have a sign, this is what the policy we are working on. Maybe even have papers, anything.
I'm not
We
sure.
hear from everybody.
I'm not really sure what you're talking about, but that I saw the forum as not just a presentation. It's a community
Right,
forum.
it's a talk.
It's a total interaction.
Saying
So we're learning,
we want that,
and then we're also receiving from the community.
right?
Absolutely. That's what it is. And that's what we're setting up in January to see what that looks like. And then move forward each quarter from that with a new subject matter, which we're starting with pretext ops, which is what I said day one at our very first meeting. I haven't changed. I'm still in the same deadline, same everything.
It's a lot of work. I recommend, I don't know if you want to do it or you want me to do it, kind of.
Or us do it, what?
A notice to the community, because I'm, once you said it, I'm like, it's true. We talked about it about a year ago and, it seems like we're not doing nothing. We at least have to say something, like, look, we're working behind the scenes relentlessly. Because what we want is that when we issue those recommendations, we would like all, ideally, to be implemented, but at a minimum most. And we have to do our homework to do that.
Okay, well, I will say this, because we're discussing it, this is a part of our agenda, which is becoming a part of our minutes. So when we do our reports, we will have a detailed report. We can't give dates, obviously, but we can definitely say what we're doing, just like I'm doing now, and give the report to the community that what we're doing, but we can't give a date on a forum, but we know it's gonna happen. We're not there yet. We've been totally making it up, so.
Actually,
yes.
sorry, but we did start doing the committee chairs, writing kind of like what happened in the meeting as a.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So we'll get
there.
So that's exactly the plan, just to give a detail on moving forward. Yes.
I did go to a community forum this past weekend, with Pillars of Justice.
Mhm.
They coordinated the entire thing.
Yes.
They, had speakers, it was a very great experience.
Mhm.
And they did an amazing job with all of their volunteers. I mean, dozens of volunteers, just making this happen. And so maybe they're the organization to work with
Yeah.
on this.
Great
and partner
idea.
with.
Absolutely great idea.
Connect me to them, because then that'll be, maybe they'll do it for free.
Well, they're an organization that deserves to get money too.
If that's their work, I mean, they can't double up. But yeah, you can connect me to them now.
No, but maybe we can coordinate that with.
Coordinate with them, exactly.
On this topic, of pretext. ops,
Yeah,
maybe
they would
the
love
idea
to help us, I'm sure, and partner with us on this.
Because our previous forums, we had like a very limited number of people, whereas
Yeah.
pretext ops is a topic that
Yeah.
hundreds of people have input on, and we need to figure out how to get their input, and that's part of what we'll be talking about the retreat, right?
Yeah, get
Exactly.
200 people at this, and they had breakout rooms, and they had all of it. It was right here at their, it was on University. It was like, church, like I'm not sure,
I'm doing another try.
Mhm.
but it was a community space, and the community turned out. Everyone.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know exactly the group. I know everything what you're talking about, absolutely. And I agree with what you're saying. It'd be a great collaboration,
They're
for sure.
Something that we want to do.
And then us adding our information to that and for what we're doing, I think that's a great idea. So we'll get it together. And just to let you know, like you said, things are happening behind the scenes, Mr. Burgess and I, we do meet and we do move this forward. That's how we know that,
We can tell.
Oh. And we're going to continue, even though we're not meeting in the holidays, we're still working.
Yeah.
We're not on vacation for 2 months. We are working. Because that's the whole thing that's a lot of information. The retreat and then the conference. And then it's like, how do we make this palatable for all of us to actually put out to the community? So I want to bring something cohesive to policy in January. You're going to bring something, which I think is a great idea for you guys to get together and have something as our topic that we're going to have. And then we work through that to create this amazing forum. And now we have also partnerships. So yes. All minds clear? Anything else? Yes.
I just also want to add, don't forget that we worked hard on that pre-test stuff. We have some really good recommendations.
Thank you.
We are going to be able to update them with everything we've learned throughout the year. So we're not starting from scratch.
We're not starting from scratch, which is why we're okay.
My biggest thing is the communication. Can we communicate to the
Absolutely.
community? Can we do a public statement or figure out,
I appreciate that.
yeah, because we want them to know that we care, because we do care.
We do care. That's why we're doing this work.
Yeah, exactly, but this is inside of a room, in a building that no one's gonna,
That's public.
I mean, it's public, but like, it's just something that we should communicate publicly.
We are. We're going to do it in a report. So you're telling us to make better reports.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
to do
no.
a public statement or to,
Like an official
like an official statement.
I'll do it
This
in
is
a
still
chair
something that we're
report.
working through.
You're awesome.
I'm doing
Yeah.
it.
How about,
Yeah, which is great. That's exactly what I'm saying.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we just,
We're pretending like this, we have
I
time.
feel like
We
we're,
don't.
never mind.
No, please.
No, no, what's up?
The retreat was supposed to determine how and what and the names of stuff. Do we want to jump ahead of the policy retreat and name what we're doing already, or?
We've already named, what are you talking about?
Correct. I think I know what you're saying. So we've already kind of determined what we want to do for the first quarter of the year is what we were talking about, right? The pre-text stuff is the
Yes.
first quarter of the year. And that's what we've kind of already determined. Are we saying that the retreat is gonna affect the second quarter, third quarter, like the rest of the year? Because we've already determined that the
Because
first
we
quarter
have our-
is already spoken for. We
Right.
can't do anything else.
Yeah,
that what we're
we're
saying?
hitting that.
Yeah, that's my
That's where you're,
because
yeah.
I thought the retreat was going to affect all that. Have the
Yeah, and that's what I thought too, but until we had this discussion on what we're gonna do the first quarter, now we know what we're gonna do pre-text stops.
we should have a business meeting in November, right? We can wait until November to make the announcement. We don't have to do it on Wednesday.
To announce once we have a solid plan on the forum, we can announce that in November.
But, 'cause I mess with, Alina asked me one question about one agenda and I have the agendas going all the way out for the rest of the time. So that is how I saw the retreat as, okay, we just decided pretext, you're gonna already have the information. We have to decide on the rest of the year on what's next, but we're not gonna have all that information collected. And that's a part of why, even with our October meeting, I need you to tell me, what are we going out there to grab? So that we can get best practices or best experts or just different things. I haven't even looked at the NACOLE conference myself, but I'm assuming that they're gonna have like, what they're actually giving us.
Yeah, let me-
So I'm not there yet,
Yeah.
but
Can I clarify one thing?
please.
Are you saying that we should have the deliverables for the pre-text stop for the meeting in November? Or is that-
No, for the meeting in January.
Okay, cool.
We're not meeting in November, we're not meeting in December, but we're
Yeah.
all working up for our January meeting.
What I heard is that we were gonna have to.
Not at all.
Okay, cool.
Not at
Just wanted
all.
to make sure.
Not at all.
Clarification, when we say we're not meeting, we mean this committee.
The committee is not meeting.
Yeah.
We're all behind the scenes getting the work done
Understand.
so that we can have a very strong meeting in January to have an amazing forum in the next few months following. Okay, yes.
I just wanted to get a little clarification about pillars of justice.
Yeah.
There's also pillars of the community.
Okay.
Pillars of justice is
Public doors of the community, I guess.
a pride organization.
Well, then I know it's Pillars of the Community, and I thought he was talking about Pillars of the Community because I know they do that forum right there.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
doors-
So it's Pillars of the Community.
One is pride and one is Islamic faith-based. And
That's what I
they're
know.
very interested in Southeast San Diego
Yeah.
and law enforcement.
It
treatment.
may
of
be the one,
That's the group,
that may be the group
because he's talking about the same place.
that's coordinated the meeting this past weekend for surveillance on that topic. They, maybe.
It's
sorry,
an Islamic
May
group.
have mixed up the name. That may be it.
It is,
Yeah.
it's it,
Okay,
Yeah.
it is.
okay.
Thank you for
Okay,
clarity.
sure.
Check the
Oh.
communication thing I sent out.
Oh, snap,
Yeah.
okay. So are we, all minds clear?
Yes.
So we're adjourning officially? You don't look clear. I'm not gonna adjourn yet. Say it.
We're clear. I'm ready.
There's no
Okay.
end time of
All
the
right.
meeting, by the way.
I know, we can go till midnight.
And
We
time.
took it off. We decided.
No, it's there.
No, it's not.
I was wrong. Huge, look to the committee.
And, no, not yet.
You haven't adjourned? I mean, yeah.
I'm about to adjourn. Are we adjourning officially? All right, we're adjourning. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Nice to